Okay, here we go. Memorial Day weekend edition of the post-game show. CP from Knicks Fan TV. My man Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time show. This is the number one Knicks fan show on YouTube for the fans, by the fans. If you're a diehard Knicks fan, hit that subscribe button below and the notification bell so you don't miss anything. On this episode, we're going to recap this week's news and rumors, give you our takeaways, get your takeaways. The phone lines are up, 657-383-1509. Jay Ellis, how you feeling, my dude? How was your week, man?
I'm chilling, dog. There's no work Monday.
No work, man. Happy Memorial Day, man. Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, man.
Definitely salute to the vets that we lost. Salute to the vets who served and to the vets that are active duty, man. We definitely appreciate all the sacrifice.
My grandfather.
Are you grandfather served?
Yeah,
that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Good stuff, my dude. All right, let's get into it, man. We got a packed show. Let's get into it so everybody could go and enjoy their Saturday. First news of the week was the all-rookie team was announced. Congratulations are in order.
Yeah.
To that boy, Money Mitch.
Money.
A.K.A. Mitch, please.
Shmoney.
A.K.A. the Block Nest Monster.
You scared?
He went from number 36 in the draft, Jay Ellis, to being ranked within the top 10 rookies of the year with an outstanding season. Mitchell Robinson makes the all-rookie team, second team. What's your reaction to that, man?
Man, I love... Wait, yo, Jazz, can you tell CP to have the mods unmuted?
We'll get to it, man. I keep forgetting about this guy, man. But we'll get to it, man. We'll get to it. So hang out in the Nick of Time show for now, and Alex and Dave will sort it out on my end, man. But go ahead, bro.
But yeah, man, well deserved from Mitch Robinson, man. He came out of nowhere. No one really expected that much from him, considering that, you know what, he didn't have no college experience. Came out as a straight out of high school, old school. Took a year off. Didn't play no full court ball. Came out here and just exploded. The second half of the season, he just improved by so much, leaps and bounds, and it showed, man. It showed in his efforts. It showed in the fact that he's mentioned in the all-rookie second team and number 2 in blocks in the NBA with only playing 20 minutes a game.
At 20 minutes per game, JL. It's 20 minutes. I mean, listen, man, I'm proud of the kid. He was a shining light of our 17-win season.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see the growth. You know, he came in as a relative unknown. A lot of us didn't know too much about him. Came in as a number 36 pick in the draft. Summer League, we caught a glimpse. You know, Canner had him planted on the bench for a little while, and then, you know, we saw the tides kind of shifting. We got Canner out of here, and it was Mitch's show, man. So I'm definitely proud of him. He did receive 3 votes for the first team. So
good.
Maybe
say more.
Yeah, so maybe a couple Nick beat writers threw his name in the hat for that one. And then also ISO and Kevin Knox received some second-team votes, didn't make it. But overall, man, I mean, you know, how many teams can say they had their 3 rookies in consideration for the all-rookie team? I thought we had a great rookie class last year, man, all things considered.
Yeah, man, and I kind of feel like ISO could have snuck in there if he was healthy.
Yeah, I agree, man. I definitely agree with that. ISO definitely could have snuck in there. He hit a little bit of a lull when he caught that calf injury, and then kind of had a rough second half.
Exactly, but even with the rough second half, people keep saying we don't have a number 2. I'm like, y'all sleeping on ISO, dog.
Yeah,
y'all really sleeping on ISO. This dude had 44% from the field, shot 39% from 3 as a rookie.
Facts. I'm big on ISO. I'm big on ISO, man. Count me in the ISO fan club.
Yeah, like that's he's shooting well enough to be like a solid player now in his first year as a rookie.
I agree.
Those aren't rookie numbers.
I agree.
Those aren't rookie percentages. So don't sleep on ISO talking about we don't have a 2.
Absolutely, man. So speaking of ISO, Mitch and Knox, I saw an interesting post on Instagram from my guy Orange and Blue Forever. His post was, what's one thing that you would want each of these guys to work on this offseason? Mitch, ISO, and Kevin Knox. What's one thing you think each of those guys should work on this offseason?
Yeah, luckily we did like a whole series of that on the Nick of Time show. Mm-hmm. But definitely check that out. But for Mitch, I mean, it's going to be the post ups getting stronger in general, like the leg strength. You don't want to get too bulky where you're too slow, you can't keep up.
Yeah.
You want to keep that freak athleticism where it is, but you want to get some post moves. I want to be able to see him kind of take advantage of at least smaller guys at first. You know what I'm saying? Like if you switch and there's a shooting guard on you, I want you to be able to post him up.
Go-to move. Go-to post move. Yeah, take advantage of it.
Bare minimum. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Okay.
And maybe a set shot from the three-point line, and also from inside the arc.
Mm-hmm.
I would take that right now. But I also heard he's working on like little head fake and drives.
Yeah. Okay. Put the ball on the floor. All right, might be a little risky, but all right. Why not work on it?
Yeah. So I would think those would be the first steps. And he really wants to be. He said he wants to pattern his game after Joel Embiid, and I can actually interestingly see that.
Yeah.
I can see him kind of being in a skinnier Joel Embiid, or maybe he put on some muscle and being on Joel Embiid, because his frame looks like he'll be able to take some muscles pretty well.
Right.
I could see Mitch kind of being a Joel Embiid for us.
Yeah, he did say he wanted to pattern his game after Embiid. How about for Mitch, I would agree. I think having a solid high percentage go-to move that's not just the alley-oop. To keep the defense honest, a nice little go back to the mid-range, man. There's nothing wrong with the mid-range. I know it's a 3-point game.
It's the mid-range dead.
I know it's inside the paint and 3-point, but a little mid-range, a little pick and pop couldn't hurt nobody, JLs. You know what I'm saying? I think that was one of the things that doomed Houston with Capella, man. Capella's making all this money. The guy can't. There's nothing else. It's alley-oops and nothing else.
It really is. And I don't know if that's their fault. They didn't want to develop the guy into doing that, or he just took initiative to do that, work on that during the summer.
Right.
But that'll open some things up for your team if you can do something besides dunk.
A little pick and pop won't hurt him, man. A little pick and pop won't hurt him, But along with Mitch, just again getting bigger, as you said, getting that size in there, which that's automatic. They'll get him right. 3-pointer, okay. I'm not averse to him developing an outside shot, but definitely a high percentage go-to move will be real cool for him. Let's go to ISO. What's your one development for ISO that you want to see this year?
With ISO, it's so weird because he does a lot of things well. It's just more like awareness type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like being aware of the open man, making an extra pass. You already saw he started working on his left hand already. Since he started going left, which is dope. Also, his defense is already kind of solid too. Like he's not the best defender, but I'm not like pulling my hair out on ISO. So it's really just the little stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like just being more of a facilitator sometimes, which I saw him working on towards the end of the year as well.
Right.
Shooting 3-pointers quicker, because I felt like he head faked a lot last season. Towards the end of the season, he started pulling those threes and he started hitting him at a high clip. And he's already shooting at like 39-40% from three. So don't be afraid to take them, man.
Yeah.
Shoot them when you're open.
Let it fly, man. Let it fly. I definitely wanted to see him take some more threes last year as well. I agree with you. I think offensive and defensive awareness will definitely benefit ISO. Being a bit more of a playmaker, like you said, working on his offhand for sure, because he was righty dominant. For most of the year, and you saw some teams take that away when he was surging. I think I go back to that Chicago game where they kind of keyed in on him, and you kind of saw him kind of overthinking what to do and kind of forcing the issue a little bit. So, but listen, man, I see people in the chat not so high on ISO as us, but I don't know, man. I see him being a solid rotational player for us in the future, man, if he can just work on those things.
Don't sleep on ISO, man. I'm just telling that. Don't do it.
Absolutely, man.
Don't do it.
Let's shift our focus to Kevin Knox, and we've been seeing the off-season videos. Kevin Knox and ISO and Mitch are definitely in the gym. What's your one development for Kev that you want to see him work on this year?
Oh, I got a list for Kev.
A laundry list for Kev, right?
Yeah, my list for Kev is a little longer. But efficiency, of course, is one thing. Something we saw him kind of work on. Finishing at the rim, his strength. What else? The defensive awareness, defensive slides. Not getting confused on switches so much. It's consistency defensively in general.
I hear you.
Like the energy, it wavers up and down. Sometimes you're like, wow, this guy can be a really good defender, and then sometimes you're like, he just looks completely lost.
Yeah. I agree, man. It's hard to key on one thing for Kev, but I would say certainly weight. You definitely want to see get his weight up. You want to see him improve that motor, be more tenacious on both ends. You know, defensive awareness, not being so lost in space at times. You know, as you said, offensive efficiency, working on his jumper a little bit. Handles, working on his handles a bit more. Because he has
that's a big one.
That's a big one because he has that ability to really start that break. You know, he can really start that break, and with his size and his length, he can really make things happen. So, I think Kev certainly needs to work on those things. But I'm more optimistic about Kev than maybe the average fan. I know some Knicks fans don't see his ceiling being too high. I think Knox is on his way, man. I don't know. What do you think?
I feel like mentally, I still have my question marks. I actually have my question marks when we drafted him. But I think he could end up being fringe all-star, but not like an all-star, but like maybe just missing it. But
yeah,
like that's why I like a score, kind of like a score can go off a little bit. Like the mental to me is a harder thing to get over, which is why I wasn't super high on him when we drafted him. But I think he can end up being somebody who can just get you a bunch of buckets and save your ass every now and again. But I don't know if I'm looking for him to be consistent every night, but like more consistent than what he is now.
Right. No, I got it. I got it, man. Let me go to, first off, we got a super chat. Salute to, let's see who sent us the super chat here. Bear with me 1 second here.
Barahona?
Yep, Victor Barahona. He says, what do you think of trading Frank and ISO for good luck? What?
For good luck?
I don't know.
Yo.
That's just what it said, man. I'm just reading it, man.
Yo.
I'm just reading it, man. Well, listen.
That's interesting. You're down on Frank and ISO.
I guess he's down on Frank and ISO, man.
I would think like if you liked Frank, you would hate ISO, and if you hate ISO, you would like Frank.
It's true.
But he doesn't like both. So this is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we do know based on our early cap, projections and with the third pick and potential trades and whatnot, one of those guys might be on the outs. Is it going to be Frank? Is it going to be ISO? One of the things we also heard this week, JLs, was that Frank did switch agents. Frank switched agents.
Yeah, like 6 years ago.
Right. Well, it was rehashed this week. They caught Bondi out in a little bit of headline fixing. You know what I'm saying? But Frank did
rough week for Bondi.
Rough week indeed for Bondi. But Frank did switch agents. I think it's an agent that handles most of the top French players in the league. Batum, Tony Parker. I believe my guy from Orlando, Fournier maybe.
Okay.
So Frank did switch agents in that regard. So.
He did switch agents, but doesn't really mean any. I mean, Mitch switched agents like 5 times.
Right. Yeah.
So doesn't necessarily mean you're trying to leave.
Right. No, I hear that. But in terms of the salary cap, one of those guys might be out, man. In terms of Frank and ISO. So let's see what happens to be continued.
If the Knicks do decide to like go after the 2 max free agents as planned, then things can get a little hairy. And we might have to end up trading one of those assets.
Yeah, man.
Or dropping them.
Absolutely, man. So speaking of these young players, let's go to Atlanta real quick. John from Atlanta, he wants to talk about the progression of some of the young players. John, how you feeling, man? Happy Memorial Day, bro.
Happy Memorial, CP. Shout out to you and Jay Ellis. How y'all doing today?
Good, man. How you feeling?
Good, man.
Man, I'm good. It's great to be a Knicks fan. You know what I mean? From all the circles that we've been through with Phil Jackson and Hornacek to Fizdale and what he has done for our young players to Magic P and Mills. Seem like they taking a step above what Phil Jackson did and actually paying attention during the draft combine instead of going to sleep in the bleachers like he was out partying until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Embarrassing.
Bar was set low, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
Just stay awake and you've done better.
What kills me is people stating that they don't want RJ. And, if you look at it, RJ was projected the number one high school player coming into the year.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why he's not number one now is because Zion's potential, not what he's done. Because if you look at points per game and assists and rebounds, if you put them all together, RJ Barrett outshines Zion. It's just Zion is a highlight film. But
go ahead,
I was listening to you.
Go ahead, JLs. You gotta chime in on what he just said.
No, I'm saying I think Zion was scoring around the same amount of points with like less shots, so people were kind of looking at the efficiency of RJ, and that's why people were. And the freak athleticism, of course, Zion, which is why people would say he was the number one pick, even though RJ has the total game. But I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, but Zion's efficiency came from him getting putbacks and alley-oops. None of it really came from the offense. RJ Barrett had the ball in his hand, especially when Jones went down. RJ was the point guard. So us as Knicks fans, what we need is a shooting guard. If we do get Kyrie, KD, and whoever else, we still need a two guard. So if you put Barrett at the two, you got a good, nice size two. What if you like 6'6"?
Yeah, about that.
So you put him with Kyrie, Kemba, or whatever point guard we pick up. You got KD at the 3. I say you put Knox at the 4. But I'm still hoping I'm going to put this out there for the universe. I'm still hoping to get Kawhi. I want Kawhi instead of...
Hey. I hear you, man. I hear you, John, and we're gonna get to that and appreciate the call, bro. We're gonna get to the Kawhi Leonard stuff in a second, man. But good points. I mean, listen, I think with RJJLs, we definitely feel a need at the 2.
Mm-hmm.
You see a guy that, as John said, and also as Tommy Beer said when we had Tommy Beer on a couple months back, he was ranked highest in the class, higher than Zion. So we can't forget that. We get one of the top players in the nation, man. When we remove ourselves from the Zion hype, can't sleep on this kid.
Word. You know what? And I think everybody knows my stance on it right now. I do feel like RJ, if you're looking for the safest clear-cut talent at 3, RJ is the safest, most clear-cut talent at 3.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not the safest. If we do have the ideal of Kyrie and Kevin Durant, I don't think he's the safest slot at 2 because of his inefficiency from the 3-point line, shooting 31%. And even I was looking at some other numbers too. Like he was most efficient at the top of the key, which is pretty good. The corners is where we really seem to struggle, and those corner threes are where I feel like a lot of the shots will be if we do have a KD and Kyrie.
Sure.
So those he's gonna have to work on those corner threes.
Corner and elbow as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that. I definitely agree with that. Here's what Jay Billis had an interesting thing to say about RJ Barrett. He was interviewed by Berman of the Post. And Jay Billis said he's legit. He did things this year that hadn't been done by any freshman. He handled the ball, ran the point, played off ball, did everything you could ask of a player. He's a lot like James Harden. He says his outside shooting is going to improve. He shoots a good ball. His mechanics aren't broken, and he'll get much better. Now we did hear this Harden comparison a few episodes ago, man, and we didn't really see it. But Jay Billis, everybody has an opinion. Not to say one is right and one is wrong, but what's your takes on Jay Billis's comparison there?
If you're saying getting to the basket, I agree with that.
Yeah.
If you're saying left hand, he's a left-hander, I agree with that. I don't know. The first thing I think of when I think James Harden is 3-point shooting.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I don't even think it's fair to even compare the two, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like a weird comparison to me still.
I see more of the Wade. I see more of the Wade comparison.
Yeah.
I think the thing that kind of gets us hitched with the Harden comparison is that we're looking at Harden in that D'Antoni offense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we're not really looking at just his skill sets, but we're kind of looking at how they run that offense, where you know, it's just so ISO dominant, with Harden just controlling the ball. But RJ is crafty with it. He could definitely get to the basket, a la Harden.
Or maybe a wing that can play point guard. I can see
Right,
that.
maybe a wing that can play the point a little bit. A little bit. I see a little bit. Not crazy. I see more of the Wade comparisons than the Harden comparisons for sure. I see more of that for sure.
Yeah, I'll roll with that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So that was Jay Billis's take on it. Steve Nash was also interviewed earlier this week by Stephen Bondi, who's still getting work. You know, listen, that's his godfather. We already know he's gonna be, you know, highly complimentary of him. But
of course,
he says, he says he can handle it. He says he can handle New York, which I think he can. I see a leadership quality in him that he can handle that pressure, man.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
I definitely see it. So Steve Nash on his game says he's got an incredible skill set. We forget he's only 18 years old. It's big upside. He have a big effect on the NBA game. He can guard multiple players, but he's definitely a ball handling wing, somebody who can play the point, the 2 or the 3. I like that. That's what I like, man. The flexibility that he gives us. Whether it's handling the ball, being a capable playmaker, starting the secondary break, you know, for guys in a pick and roll situation, playing the 2, playing the 3. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's a jump shot away from being perfect for Fizz's position as basketball, like mold.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like go ahead.
Because he's 6'8", and he can handle the ball and rebound and play 1 through 3. Like if he's able to get that jump shot, I think Fizz will salivate.
Yeah. I agree, man. And you could see that, you know, that's where they were going with Knox. That's where they're trying to go with RJ. Having guys that you can slot in those different positions, whether you need to play big or you need to play small. You know what I'm saying? That can handle those positions on both ends. And you hope Kevin Knox can get to that point as well as he continues to develop. There was a scout who was a former video guy for the Wizards. He broke down RJ and Knox and how they complement each other, and he thinks that they can complement each other well. He says that he thinks that RJ and Knox can fit that 2-3 mold where they can guard either wing, playing a scheme that allows them to switch onto 1s and 4s at times. He says what RJ brings that Knox doesn't have is the ability to be a secondary creator, kind of like a Fournier. Barrett can play out of that high pick and roll, like you said, J. Ellis, at the top of the key, and make the right read.
This is where things get interesting, yo, because, you know, we're developing youth, but then when more youth comes in, like, then you're going to have to, as a coach, set priorities. Because towards the end of the season, you were giving Knox the ball a little bit more at the top of the key and telling him to make plays so he can get used to, you know, making plays. But now that RJ is here, he's not even, I'm talking like he's going to be here. Like, if we do get RJ, which is a high probability. Right, then you're thinking, all right, now, like, who do we prioritize? Who are we grooming to do that? So there's going to be a lot of decisions by the coach, because I do see that as being a plus for RJ. But then again, we also have the SJ here at the moment. So there's gonna, right now, like RJ and Knox, to me, at their ceiling, they'll fit. DSJ to me is a good talent, but he fits clunky with the team when you consider RJ and Knox.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some decisions to be made.
There's going to be some decisions to be made. Definitely going to be some decisions to be made. And as you said, Fizdale's on the clock. He's going to have to show him proof and earn that check. You know, not just at the negotiating table during free agency, but also the X's and O's. You know, how does he make these pieces fit?
And it's funny because now that I'm really thinking about it, I just had this, like, if Frank can hit jump shots, to me, Frank would be the ideal person to run with that unit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be the, like, because then I would have RJ. You can have RJ run point, and then Frank if he hits jump shots.
You're right.
He's supposed to run the two, do the two, switch off combo guard, and then they'll be able to switch 1 through 3, no problem. Everybody's 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah. No,
like that would actually work out pretty well if everybody actually, develop like they were supposed to.
Could develop as they're supposed to. Let's go down to the 305. Brandon from Miami, he wants to give his take on R.J. Barrett and free agency as well. Brandon, how you feeling, bro? Hello. Brandon going once, twice. All right, Brandon, you got to call back. Let's go back to the A. Chris thinks we should go Culver over Barrett. Chris, how you feeling, man?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing today?
Good, bro. How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I hear all the R.J. Barrett talk, but what I like to think about when I look at him is he's great on the college level, but as far as translating to the NBA, I'm not sure if his skills really translate. I watched that Texas Tech Duke game several times, and I like the way Culver handled that game so much better than Barrett. Barrett was trying to force things, turnovers, inefficient as hell. It wasn't even close in my opinion. And as far as making reads on the defense and really committing to defense and passing the ball, Culver checks all those boxes. Now, they both have issues with the J, but I think Culver will come around with that. But I like the way Culver plays way more better than Barrett, without a doubt.
It's an interesting
when I watch
debate.
Barrett, he does a lot of it in transition. What's up?
No, I said it's an interesting debate. I liked what Culver did this year as well. I was very impressed with Culver.
No doubt.
Slept on this year. But like
Barrett, to me, he has to build up that speed in the fast. And when he's in transition, he finishes well. I give him that. But half court, I don't see where people are getting James Harden from. He doesn't have that quick, twitchy handle, he doesn't have that. He's more of a built-up kind of speed guy. And if you watch his stuff, half court, he doesn't get open. He can't beat a guy off the dribble half court. Can't do it.
Yeah, you're saying he kind of lacks that speed and athleticism, but I think he changed his speeds fairly well.
Go ahead,
JLs.
Yeah, I think and this is a guy who's been critical of RJ Barrett, so don't think I'm like, and I'm taking a lot of heat for it, so don't think I'm like, just jumping on you. I think I do think he kind of gets by people pretty decently. I just think sometimes he has a problem finishing over people sometimes, unless it's like a straight-on fast break. So I understand what you're saying.
Right.
There's certain things where he does have to work on. But it's like weird because I do like Culver's ability to kind of hit a jumper a little more than Barrett, but then he seems like he has problems getting.
He has more skills, man. He can hit a turnaround jumper down in the post. He can do a lot more. You know what I'm saying? To me, he can do a lot more, and I see a lot more to grow with that young man. But I mean, if Don P is doing his thing and he can really make some maneuvers and trade, I wouldn't even mind the Darius Garland, man, because you need guys that can hit from deep in there.
Now you're talking about language.
I wouldn't even if we had a deal for DSJ and let's say you trade him to the Charlotte Hornets. DSJ is from North Carolina. Why not get him there and get that pick and we get Garland in and mix them up? I wouldn't mind that either. But hey, if I had to make a pick, I would probably take Culver.
Okay. Appreciate the call, man. Thanks for the support.
Hey, man. Appreciate it, fellas.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Everybody knows Garland is my guy.
Chris from ATL just scored a lot of points with Jay Ellis.
He just scored. He's good in my book.
Yeah, he just scored a lot of points. Listen, man. I liked what I saw from Culver this year. I know Big Freezy's in the chat saying that DeAndre Hunter locked him up in the finals. He did.
Yeah, he did. He locked him up.
He did. But I thought Culver had some outstanding games with Texas Tech this year from what I saw. Man.
If you watch the games before the lock, I'm actually like, because I felt like he had so games like 2 games before that. If you watch the games before that, I felt like Culver was really coming into his own, and he kind of efficiently took over a lot of games.
Yeah, he did,
and like especially towards the end of the games. So I mean, Culver has something there. It's definitely something there, but I feel like because he's not as athletic, I don't know if the Knicks will go that route all the way.
I gave my comparison with Josh Howard. I thought he reminds me a lot of Josh Howard, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all you guys in the chat think about that, and some of you guys who are a little bit older, he reminds me of Josh Howard, man, back at Wake Forest. That's what I see in Culver's game. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Once again, this is the post-game live show. CP from Knicks Fan TV. My man Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time show. If you are just joining us, first and foremost, happy Memorial Day. Salute to all the vets out there, all the ones that we lost, all the ones that are actively serving, all that have served. If you guys are vets, if you guys have served in the armed forces, just give us a hashtag vet so that we can shout you guys in the chat. If you guys are new to the show, give us a hashtag new so we could also shout you out. And for everybody else, man, just throw your city in the chat. Let us know where you're checking in from. We like to see where everybody's rolling in from. We got a lot of international viewers as well, man.
Or I don't think the Facebook thing ever launched too.
Oh, never did? Okay, yeah. I don't know. How about Twitter? Check Twitter.
Twitter's fine.
Okay. All right. A little technical difficulties. You know, we roll with it. Chris Lean, what's going on? Welcome to the show, Chris. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. The Shooters, Bayonne, New Jersey. Mellow Fellow's new to the chat. Salute, Mellow Fellow. Big Freezy's a vet. U.S. Army 54B. Salute, Big Freezy, man. Thanks for your service, bro. I didn't even know that, man. We got some internationals in here, JL. So we got Vince Yako. He says he was just about to go to sleep when he saw this. By the way, it's 3:53 in Sydney, Australia.
Wow.
Welcome to the show, Vince.
Welcome.
We're talking Knicks, man. You don't need sleep. Talk Knicks, man.
Definitely don't. Shout out to Terrence Harris from Maryland.
Salute, man.
And Harlem. I guess you by Harlem by way of Maryland.
Okay. Uptown. Always love Uptown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout
man.
out to you. I think I saw somebody from early. Let me scroll up.
Yeah. I see somebody, U.S. Air Forces, League of Thieves. Salute League of Thieves, repping the Air Forces.
All right. League of Thieves. Staple. I see you.
Absolutely, man. Long Island in here. See Car Papa, what's going on? Jamaica in the building. What's good, my brethren? Backstreets Meech. Backstreets Meech in here, man. Absolutely. So yeah, like I said, we're just recapping this week's news.
Ricardo, Uruguay, I see you.
Uruguay. We got Wales. Ryan O'Sullivan from Wales, UK in the building, JL.
All right.
Yeah, we're international here, man.
Royalty.
Beautiful. We also got a super chat from CT Pittman. He says, do you trust the front office to make the right decisions this year? We know your answer, JL, so we know my answer, man. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I'm a trust the front office, man. I'm going to trust the front office. Like, I'm going to roll with whatever they pick. If they say, yo, RJ's a guy, I'm like, all right, cool. RJ's a guy.
Yeah.
If you want to make a trade, all right, cool. I'm going to roll with you. I'm rolling with the front office. I'm going to give everything they do a chance. They've done well so far. They earn my respect so far. They're really going to earn their check this summer, though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All the tough decisions are this summer.
All the tough decisions are this summer, man. This is when Ninja P's really going to earn his dollars. Well, I look at things a bit more optimistically than some. I'm not on the Dolan's going to ruin the team bandwagon. I'm not on that. Nah. I think that's overrated. I think, I trust Scott Perry. I feel like he's on his Professor X stuff right now, JLs. He's very cerebral. He said from day one they've been looking at these prospects since October.
Mm-hmm.
He's diligent. He has a good track record in the draft, whether it's as the GM or in the war rooms as an assistant, a scout, so on and so forth. Scott Perry, from the minute he's came in, he has good prospects that he can attach to his resume. And I'm gonna go with that, man. I'm gonna go with that. I feel like they finally learned their lessons from past mistakes. We'll see with this AD thing. We'll see. But and we don't even know if that's necessarily a mistake. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a very tricky situation.
It's a very tricky situation.
Very tricky situation.
It's funny because we never actually won a trade, so I'm very curious to see.
Right.
Like I was saying before, I was like, you kind of forget with all this AD thing that we can sign 2 max free agents outright. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I feel like we might have a lot more leverage than we think we do. Like we're operating mentally as Knicks fans.
Yes.
From an angle of someone who doesn't have leverage. their star wants to go.
Right.
We can sign 2 max free agents. So we're not as desperate in a situation as the Pelicans. You know what I mean?
That's true. Or the Lakers.
Like,
the Lakers.
They have to,
Or
the Lakers are going up in flames with Jeannie Buss and LeBron, and like, we're okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, I'm happy with the flexibility that we got in the KP trade. But speaking of the KP trade, JLs, this week it was a little thing that, you know, kind of knocked me the wrong way a little bit. Here was Steve Mills on the KP trade. Let's take a listen.
When he walked into our office, my office, and Scott was sitting there with me, and point blank said to us, I don't want to be here. I'm not going to resign with the Knicks, and I'm going to give you 7 days to trade me, or I'm going back to Europe. So fortunately for us, through that process that we talked about starting in September, we had a number of deals lined up, and we could start the trade call as soon as we walked out of the office.
And that's one of the things you have to do as lead.
When he walked into
All right. The and shout out to Knicks Guy 1 on Twitter who broke that story for us. Basically, what it was that Chase does these corporate events where they host, you know, certain sports dignitaries where the employees can start asking questions. So I guess somebody must have asked what happened with the KP deal. To me, JL, they shouldn't have taken the bait on it. They should have just been like, you know what, KP is gone. We wish him the best. Good luck in Dallas. We're focusing on the future. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know, Mills says, well, KP gave us 7 days to trade him, or we want to go to Europe. I don't think where we're going right now, where we're trying to be right now, we didn't need that to be a headline this week in the news. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. That's fair.
It should have been old news. Sweep it under the rug. We didn't need for ESPN and all these guys to run the headline like, oh, KP gave him a 7-day ultimatum.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right about that. I mean, it kind of looks like you're covering your own ass right now. Sometimes, like you know what I mean? Like sometimes we all have exes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We all have exes, and sometimes, you know, the crazy shit that happens, right?
Right.
But you know, when somebody asks you, what happened to such and such, you gotta give them the generic, you know, it didn't work out.
Yeah, it just didn't work out. It didn't work out, J. Ellis.
You know, she set your stuff on. You know, she set your stuff on fire, and you know, talk bad about your mama. But you're not gonna say that. You're gonna be like, yo, it didn't work out, though. You know, we gotta do different personalities, and you know.
You know, she ran through your phone, checked your texts, your voicemails, and all that.
Yeah.
Went through your gram, your DMs, and everything.
Yeah. Her sun rising didn't match with my moon.
That's it, man. And we just parted ways. That's it.
Exactly.
You know, we just didn't need it. We're trying to attract free agents. We don't need any free agents thinking like, what was it that caused Porzingis to give him a 7-day ultimatum?
Yeah.
You know, to walk out the door. That doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good either way.
Exactly. It kind of helps you. You know, you go into the next one. You're like, oh, he doesn't trash his ex. Oh, that's good. He's gonna treat me good too. Like now, you don't wanna have that idea like out there that, oh, now that you're not with us, we just gonna talk stuff about
Thank you. That's it. That's all, man. And we'll leave it at that. All right, before we switch topics, once again, shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for your boy. If you're a diehard Knicks fan, make sure you guys are subscribing to the channels and hit that like button. It goes a long way in promoting the show so that we bring more Knicks fans in here. We got about over 600 watches right now, so make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button wherever you guys are watching from.
I will say this, though.
Yeah.
That 7 days thing was like, wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was like, dog, you really came in with a 7-day ultimatum?
Yeah.
That was some game. Like, that showed me that he really thought his shit didn't stink.
Right.
Like, he really thought he was a mob boss. Like, that really sounded like some, I am a mobster.
Yeah.
And
this is a stick up.
Yeah.
This is a stick up. Hands to the sky.
Like, dog, you play ball. You're gonna give me 7 days to trade you?
You know, it's two sides to a story, JLs. We all know that. It's his side, and it's the truth. I don't think we'll ever know. All we're hearing right now is the Knicks side of things. We haven't heard from KP yet. It just is what it is. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know either. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's go back to 305. Brandon wants to get back in. We couldn't hear him earlier. He wanted to talk about RJ Barrett.
What's up?
Brandon, what's going on, man?
What's up? How you doing?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, we good, man.
All right. So, start things off. Looking at the title of this video, I love RJ. I think he's a great basketball player, and I think he's the most complete player in the draft. I think people look at Zion Williamson and John Moran too much as kind of like, oh, Zion's so athletic and John's like the point guard. RJ Barrett has the potential to be one of the best players in the NBA, and I think that the fact that the Knicks got the third pick makes them have the best position in the draft. I think it's better they got the third pick rather than the first pick. But I think it's too early to tell that RJ will be the next James Harden because RJ Barrett had better college stats than James Harden, but it's hard to tell the future. And Barrett has that potential to be the next Harden, but right now I wouldn't compare it because it's just way too early.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it, man, and appreciate the call, bro.
And also one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
If the Knicks don't sign Durant or Kyrie, especially with the money they have, this is a very, very good free agent class, and that gives them the potential to, maybe sign a guy like Jimmy Butler, a leader, or Kemba Walker. I mean, there's a chance he doesn't re-sign with the Hornets, especially, the Hornets haven't been a playoff team. Maybe Kemba wants to play with a team, maybe he teams up with another all-star, and that would lead the Knicks to a playoff team. That would make them a playoff team in the Eastern Conference. But the Knicks have to be smart, and they have to also use the young guys they have as guys that can come off the bench and could step up when needed. Guys like Robinson, Allonzo Trier, Kevin Knox, Damian Dotson. Guys like those that can just step up in the game and just change the game for the Knicks.
Okay, man, appreciate the call, man, and I'm gonna cut the call. It's a little bit of an echo going on there. Only thing about Jimmy Butler though, JLs, is number one, I don't want him here. I'm not a big Jimmy Butler fan, to be honest. There's rumors LeBron has started his recruiting season. Now he's doing it for Magic. He's doing Magic's job for him. Magic is gone, so LeBron is now courting Kyrie Irving. Kyrie's out in L.A. They said they went out last night or whatever. And Jimmy Butler is also courting Jimmy Butler. Supposedly, Jimmy says if they offer him the max in L.A., he'll go to L.A. So, all right, fine. I'm good on that.
I mean, there was also rumors 2 weeks ago that Kevin Durant was calling for the Knicks. So,
Yeah, exactly, man. You just don't know what to believe, man. But I mean, listen, if we're going the direction of RJ Barrett and we plan to keep him, then Jimmy Butler doesn't make too much sense for us, to be honest with you. And I don't like his reputation, man. He just doesn't come off as a good dude.
Yeah, he it's funny because I might take a chance on him if he was younger, to be honest with you. I just don't want to max out the because I kind of feel like every championship team has a guy like Jimmy Butler on it who's going to smack somebody when he get out of line.
Listen,
like, you know what I'm saying?
He was a tenacious player on both ends, very solid for the Bulls. But once he left the Bulls, he kind of carried a swag like he was just some entitled superstar almighty. Like, the thing that happened in Minnesota, people carried it like, he was some sort of hero. Like, bro, he tried to destroy the team.
That's the thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it a buck.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's the fear. The fear is, you know what it is? When you can't control somebody, there's a fear. Because what happened was, like, I don't know how to look at the situation. I don't know if it was all Jimmy or all Wolves or a little both. Because I feel like they told him they was going to move him, and he changed his mind. They changed their mind. And because they changed their mind, Jimmy.
That's when he set the bridge on fire. That's when he set everything on fire.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh, you told me he's going to trade me, you're not?
Right.
This whole thing is coming down.
Right. Then he came in and started belittling players. I think let him go to L.A. where, LeBron is going to build a ready-made team to try to win. They probably going to try to trade for 80 and let that be their big three and let them compete. If he's already in Minnesota trying to trash the team and they're young players, what do you think he's going to do here?
That's what I'm saying. Depends on the players.
Depends on who's here.
it depends on who's here. Like, if the team works hard, then the team works hard. Like,
Yeah.
from what I've heard, from what everyone's heard this season, these young players are always in the gym. They, Knox called Fizz up early and they went to work out on a whim. They're all working out early already. Like, they're already working out right now.
Right.
So, like, I don't think it's the same dynamic as, Timberwolves. Cat has a kind of that personality, not personality, reputation of being someone who doesn't work hard all the time. I don't think we have that.
Yeah, no, I hear it. Listen, it's debatable. It's debatable.
Yeah.
I err on the side of no. I
what?
don't want Jimmy Butler here. Listen, I'm not saying he's not a good player.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good player. He's a very good basketball player. He is an all-star player. There's just something about him I just don't like, man. I just don't like.
And you know what? We're not going after him anyway. Like the news reports have said that we're going after KD and Kawhi. Those are the two top targets.
That's it, as we should.
Yeah, and also the reports were, if we don't get those two top guys, then we're pretty much just gonna bunt. We're not gonna like sign any second tier free agents to a max contract. We're just gonna keep it moving.
That's what I'm hearing, man. Speaking of free agency, so Kemba Walker made the All-NBA team.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Kemba. Had a monster year this year.
Yeah, he did.
Absolutely solid year this year. Could he be priced out of the Knicks free agency pursuits? Because with this All-NBA designation, Jay Ellis, he's now able to obtain the Supermax contract, which is worth an extra year and $80 million more
Cha-ching!
than he could make anywhere else. Kemba cash out. Now, two questions. Is Michael Jordan going to give him that money? Big question. And number two, is he going to take it and hitch his wagon to Michael Jordan building him a team to actually compete?
This Supermax situation,
it's kind of crazy to me, but go ahead.
Yo, shout out to Terry from Terry and Trey. He had like a good idea actually about the Supermax, because what's happening now is these Supermaxes are kind of handcuffing teams to not being able to build.
Yeah. What is it, like 30-something% of your salary cap?
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Like what? Like if you're going to pay Kemba Walker Supermax and y'all ain't made the playoffs, how are you building your team?
Crazy. It's crazy.
You're stuck. You're stuck for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't even know Kemba Walker should want the Supermax from Jordan, because I feel like he's making the money, but you're pretty much guaranteeing that the team ain't gonna go nowhere.
It's crazy, man. It is crazy. I mean, listen, I wouldn't. I'm not against a player taking it. All these players should take as much money as they can get, but just understand that there's a consequence to every action. There's an opportunity cost to everything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be interesting, man. Does Kemba leave that extra year of security and $80 million on the table and go somewhere else, or does he say, "Hey, man, I'm a Charlotte Hornet for life"?
I feel like he's gonna leave, yo.
Question
I feel
is
like
where.
he's gonna leave. I don't know where, but I feel like he's getting there. Isn't he like, what is he? 28?
Yeah, he's almost 30. And that's the thing. Knicks Film School, shout out my guy JB from Knicks Film School, was basically saying that he could, let's say theoretically he wanted to come here. He could come here on like a 2-year deal and then get a even greater Supermax.
That's crazy.
And get his deal. The thing is that by the time you get to that point where you can get that larger Supermax, you're on the other side of 30. No team is going to offer you that.
Yeah, that's a huge.
You know what I mean?
Risk, yo.
See, like a player like an AD can do that because he's still 25.
Right. So you can get a Supermax at 27, be good.
There you go, and still get that bag.
Yeah.
But like a Kemba, it's either now or never.
Word, like don't scrape your ankle. If you get a paper cut at 30 and you want Supermax, I'm looking at you funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, man.
I'm telling you, man.
Is that paper cut healing like it's supposed to? It's killing kind of slow, dog.
Facts.
I don't know.
Facts. But listen, on the playing side, I've been more optimistic than most of the guys in the chat on Kemba.
You were early. You were early on the Kemba.
I'm a Kemba guy, man. I can't. My heart is with Kemba as a New Yorker, as a Big East guy who's watched this kid grow up and be so clutch in Madison Square Garden, be a killer in this league. I think a lot of the times we kill him because his team has been so terrible. A lot of players are like, what has Kemba done? What has he done with his team? Look at his team.
Yeah, yo. And I'll say this. I said this before. If anybody watch this program, I still feel like if Kyrie wasn't paired up with LeBron James a few years back, Kyrie would be Kemba Walker right now. And maybe not even that, because Kyrie didn't bring his team to the playoffs by himself.
Right.
Kemba did. So if you pair Kemba with KD, you probably looking at Kemba like he's the man right now instead of Kyrie.
Listen, man, if we ended up with Kemba and Kyrie, if KD and Kemba, I'm taking it. I'm sorry. I would love to see Kemba here as the point guard for this team. I would love to see it. But speaking of that Supermax, one person that was left off the All-NBA team, which I have an issue with, was one Klay Thompson. Klay got so here's the All-NBA team that was announced this week for those of you that missed it. The first team was Greek Freak, well deserved. Steph Curry, of course. Paul George, of course, had an MVP-like year. James Harden, of course, for sure. Jokic, I think Jokic definitely deserved it this year. Second team was KD, Embiid, Kyrie, which I question, Kawhi Leonard, and Damian Lillard. Third team was Rudy Gobert, Blake Griffin. A lot of people say LaMarcus Aldridge should have had that spot. Debatable. I thought Blake had a good year as well. LeBron only played 55 games. The numbers are still there. Popularity contest. He's going to get that.
Yeah.
Kemba, Westbrook, which I have an issue with as well. I have an issue with that as well.
Yeah, but Westbrook?
This is my issue, Jay Ellis. My issue is this. I think, number one, the All-NBA team shouldn't put it with, like, pigeonholing guys into positions. It's not an all-star team. They're not playing against anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
To me, you take the top 15 best players this year, and if anything, put them in tiers. A first tier, second tier, third tier. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. I'll say this, though. Like, as much as Russ has struggled this year, there hasn't been anybody who's been able to average a triple-double 3 seasons in a row. So I mean, I understand, his shooting went down, so you don't put him in the first team. But the third team, and you average a triple-double, and you're going to say no? I don't know about that.
How do you leave Klay, though, man?
Ridiculous.
How you leave Klay off that team? He made the all-defensive team.
Right. I don't think Russell's the guy to consider, though. I guess that's my argument. I don't think Russell's the guy to consider.
To me, it's either Russ or Kyrie. Because to me, Klay got robbed. Klay Thompson, to me, and let me get my Klay highlights up here to justify my position here. Klay Thompson, to me, Jay Ellis, is a vastly underappreciated talent in this league. He's a monster, bro. He's a monster on both ends of the court. He's one of the top shooters in the history of the game, Jay Ellis, and a defender that can defend multiple positions.
You know what it is? It sucks. But, like, what are Kyrie's numbers this year, though? Like, 8 assists, 20 points?
I'm not saying Kyrie. Of course Kyrie had a good year. Let's look it up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, here's the thing with Golden State. When you're getting championships and you're that well, you're kind of sacrificing the limelight to share the load. When Chris Bosh was with the Raptors, he was seen as the man. When Chris Bosh went to Miami, everybody all of a sudden forgot how good he really was. And it's like, Chris Bosh is still Chris Bosh. He just kind of sacrificed his game.
Great point with Chris Bosh. Great point.
Same thing because we said about for all intents and purposes, Klay Thompson could be James Harden, but we just don't know because he's on the Golden State.
Right.
And when I say that, I mean James Harden was just seen as a kind of good player, but there was so much talent in OKC that no one really noticed what he can do for real until he got his own shot. And carrying a team has weight. So it's hard to move guys who carry the team and brought them to the playoffs as the
That's
guy.
true. That's
like
true.
Kyrie.
It holds a lot of weight.
Yeah. And to move it over to somebody who's the third option on the team. Even though I'm not blasting how good he is, but
right.
It's just.
But this is why I say that they should do just the top 15 and stop pigeonholing guys into positions, because to me, there's too much money on the line for these players to leave it in the hands of 100 beat writers and media guys to choose their fate. You get what I'm saying? Kemba Walker just stepped into $80 million more because 100 beat writers said he deserves it.
How do you decide? I mean, I know it makes
question.
sense. It makes sense, but how do you decide it? Because if you leave that decision up to maybe the other teams, like how do you decide it though? Because if you leave it up to like the front office or something, everybody would suck. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Kyrie's numbers were not good because they won't pay nobody.
I just think there's too much money, there's too much incentive for these guys just to leave it in the hands of the media, man. I just think that $80 million, Jay Ellis, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
That's
I think
crazy.
you're right. I don't know. I just don't know the alternative, but I understand.
Because you want to tell me Westbrook plays better defense than Klay? You want to tell me Kyrie plays better defense than Klay? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, but Kyrie will know.
Definitely not.
But Kyrie, led the team. I mean, air quotes led the team, because we all saw what happened to the playoffs as the guy.
Yeah, so. I hear you, man. I hear you. Just food for thought. And my message to Klay would be, listen, man, Klay was obviously pissed off. He's underappreciated. So hey, there's more room in the orange and blue for you, Klay. We'll appreciate you here in New York, man. We'll
man. That's the thing, yo. I do kind of feel like if Klay got time to shine, like people would look at him like a James Harden, like There's certain players who kind of dim their star for a good team, and they do it without complaining.
Right.
And I feel like Klay could be one of those guys where people really don't know how good he really is because he doesn't have his own.
It's true.
That could possibly be. I'm not saying it's 100% gospel, but it's possible.
All possible. We'll never know until he burns that bridge.
Yeah, which I don't think he will. I think he's going to.
I think the minute KD walks out that door, Klay Thompson won't last past midnight of June 30th.
Nah, I think he's going to retire.
Yeah.
I think he's going to retire there, yo. I feel like him and Curry act like real life brothers.
Yeah, man.
Like I feel like there's going to be another KD leaves. I feel like there's going to be another mission. There's going to be like we can still do this without KD kind of reinvigorating type of for the whole year type of stuff. They must have forgot. Like that would be the message for the next 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, man. Let's see what people in the chat have to say. We see people on the phone lines as well. We're gonna get to you guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up if you're a diehard Knicks fan, or if you're just a basketball fan enjoying the conversation. Andrew Gitto, he says, "Do you think the players should vote for all NBA teams?" What's your take on that, Jay?
Oh, that's interesting.
I think maybe incorporate a little bit of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because
have a percentage.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair because, like Dr. Carp, he says all writers have biases. Some are fans that want to throw a monkey wrench into the plans of rival teams. I agree with that too.
But I feel like everybody has a bias, though.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Players have a bias too. Like he crossed me, I don't like him.
You might be right, but I feel like there could be a strong media bias as well based on how these guys treat some of these players in the interviews and stuff like that.
That's fun. That's interesting. That's
interesting. Yeah. Enzo in your chat says players have biases too. Yeah, that's true. I guess it's hard to really take that out of the consideration.
Yeah, I feel like people have bias in general. But that's a whole nother show.
Yeah. Ultimately, the Terminators are gonna take over, man. But that's past our lifetime.
Oh yeah, the robots are coming.
Yeah. Google
the robots are coming.
Is
They're already driving trucks.
Absolutely.
But that's another podcast.
Yeah, that's another podcast for another time, man. But the robots are gonna take over.
You know how the robots post-game robots.
Yeah, robots are gonna take over and kill us all, man. But it's all good. We won't be here for that, man. But good luck to the next generation.
Next generation, yeah.
All right. Last topic before we get back to the phones. This one's interesting. I kind of just broached it myself. And Kawhi Leonard is having an outstanding playoffs, man. My man is beasting right now, JLs. Killing right now. Averaging 30 and 8 in the playoffs. Incredible.
30 and 8, small 30, small 30, small 8.
I mean, this guy is lighting up the Bucks, man. I picked the Bucks, run away with it after game 2. I hope they don't turn me into Paul Pierce.
Oh Lord.
On my prediction. But the Claw is absolutely killing.
Yeah, man.
Killing, man. The Claw is absolutely killing, man.
Damn, now do you nickname him the Claw and then you look at that Toronto logo? Kind of looks like it was meant to be, right?
It fits. And now the question is, will he stay? It's just so hard to consider it, man.
Dog.
The question is, will he stay?
How hard would it be for you to leave knowing you get there the first year and you make the finals?
He was the missing piece. He was the chosen one, man. You know
what I mean?
Man. DeMar DeRozan couldn't do it.
I was trying to tell dude when they traded him out for
DeRozan.
for homeboy and the Spurs DeRozan. I was like, yo, Toronto's gonna be like one of the top teams in the
absolutely.
Gonna be like the top team. He's the top 5. Like he's like, nah. I was like, dog, don't sleep on Kawhi because he doesn't yell and scream.
Yeah.
Like, don't do it.
Yo, he deserves his flowers, man. I think he has to be in that consideration for best in the league, JLs. I mean, just look at what he's doing. That fourth quarter that he had 2 nights ago was sensational, bro.
Yo, I truly believe if he yelled and screamed and like posed and stuff when he scored, people will be talking about him being MVP more.
Yeah.
Like dead ass.
Yeah, the emotion. He shows no emotion.
He's like the robots that's gonna take over.
He is. He might be half man, half machine, bro. Because
exactly.
Yo, you know what I like about Kawhi Leonard? Yeah, and this is a question for you and the people in the chat. You ever seen Kawhi Leonard flustered?
No.
You ever seen Kawhi Leonard like rush under pressure?
Flustered.
Ever?
No.
Yo, it's like the guy can literally move at his own pace, get to his spot, and get his shot off on anyone at any time. Never under duress at any point in a game, bro. No matter how big the game is.
Yo, side note, how sick is DeMar DeRozan right now knowing he went to the finals as soon as he got traded?
He's sick. He's sick, man.
I'm training right now.
Facts.
I'm DeMar DeRozan.
Facts.
I'm mad.
I'm
big. All right, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I was saying, but my guy Kyle Lowry, you know him and DeRozan is friends, man, but he got to be looking at Kawhi Leonard like, man, thank you, bro.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I do it again.
Thank you, man. Rio McLovin from Toronto, what's going on, man?
Word.
And so, I bring that up because it's like, the whole offseason story has been about KD and where does he go and who plays with him. But, should the story be about Kawhi Leonard and where he goes and who should play with him? Because, this dude is a monster, man.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It
is?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I think everybody's already saw it as a 2-team. Everybody kind of assumed he was going to the Clippers.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the talk, kind of froze because like, oh, he's going to the Clippers.
Right. It just seems like it's a foregone conclusion, but it's like, how do we really know?
We don't really know.
How do we really know? Guess. When him and San Antonio fell out, there was a rumor that his camp, his uncle or whoever was in his camp, wanted LA, but also wanted the Knicks, wanted big market teams for him.
I would love that. I don't believe it at all.
Yeah.
But I would jump for joy at that. I will also be nervous too, considering how top heavy our team is, and he needs like load management. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he actually sat down. He actually sat out and missed some games for the Raptors to prepare for the playoffs, and it's obviously worked for them. But I'm not sure if our team is that good to sustain that. Unless if we do sign another max free agent, then maybe we will be good enough to sustain it.
I mean, listen, my top 2 preferences would be KD and Kawhi Leonard. Absolutely, absolutely would be KD and Kawhi Leonard, man.
It's funny because in my head, I feel like they're a clunky fit, but I don't know, like Kawhi hitting these threes this season, I'm like, okay, well, maybe it can work.
Yeah.
Maybe it can really, really work for real, you know what I mean? And we just get like a Patrick Beverly and call it a day.
It did seem a little bit, but I mean, listen, man, if you're getting two of the top players in the world, man,
exactly.
at their
You
prime,
can't really, they
can make that shit work, man.
Yeah, I feel you. I agree.
Make it work.
That's one of those things you roll the dice on if they say yes. Like, okay, go.
so I think the one team in this free agency thing to be alarmed about is the Clippers, man, because Mark Stein, NBA insider, he, well respected, doesn't make up stuff, doesn't lie, doesn't have an axe to grind. He thinks the Clippers have an equal a chance at KD as the Knicks, and clearly Kawhi Leonard has to be factored into that.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard has to be factored into that because what else would be the motivation for him to go to the Clippers, without someone like of that caliber?
Yeah, I was nervous about the Clippers. I was actually nervous about Clippers and Brooklyn heading into the offseason. I would kind of felt like they had a chance. The Clippers more so than anybody. I was really, and especially because the way the Clippers performed in the playoffs, I think they got respect around the league, especially considering Portland just got swept.
Certainly earned my respect. I was proud of that team, man. I'm a Doc Rivers guy. I love Doc Rivers, obviously based on his history here. But with Gallo, too, I love Gallo, obviously from his history here. But how many of those guys would be back if they did take those two max salaries on? Gallo wouldn't be back for sure.
Yeah, Gallo wouldn't be back for sure. But if you replace Gallo with Kawhi or, then it's like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
then you're good money.
Right.
You're not crying. You're fine.
Absolutely, man.
And Gallo was a good part of that offense, so you replace that with a legit scorer or a legit number one option.
Right.
You're good money.
So I'm pulling up Keith Smith from the NBA earlier this week had released the updated cap projections for 2019. He had us at around $73 million. Had the Clippers were at around $53 million. So I'm not sure if
are they gonna move away or something?
Right. I'm not sure if they need to make some moves to be able to get those two max.
Yeah.
Because right now they don't have it.
Yeah. Which is our biggest. That's the biggest thing we have going for us right now. We don't have to make any moves.
Right. We're ready.
Come in tomorrow.
We got to make that Frank move. We got to free up about $4 million because we got that third pick.
I thought it was I think does it depend on the salary cap? Because like the salary cap might go up. Right. It might end up being like something small as 300,000 or something.
Yeah,
like
I think from based on what JB said, but it could come down to Frank or ISO on that last deal. So we might have a little bit of maneuvering to do to fit those guys in along with the RJ Barrett. So food for thought, man. Just wanted to get the chats going, see what everybody thought about that. A little funny note before we get to the phones, JLs. Have you been watching the Broussard and KD clamoring back and forth this week? That was pretty funny, man.
Oh, I got the popcorn, dog. That was hilarious.
That was pretty funny, man. Broussard said, I have a love and hate relationship with KD. We texted for 2-3 hours straight about life, basketball, blah, blah, blah. KD said, man, you don't even have my number.
Nah.
That was hilarious, man. And then Broussard came back on Twitter like, oh, whatever, DMs, texts, same thing. I'm like, come on, man. Come on,
man. Dog, this is what's going on. KD is rehabbing. He got mad extra time.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening right now. So now he watches Sports Center 24 hours a day while he rehabbing. And he trolling. I feel like he's trolling, man. He's trolling him a little bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think he is. I'm sure they do speak, but I'm sure KD's just, he's on his media thing. He's trolling. But I think, he did have a press conference yesterday. He said that the calf injury is a bit more serious than they let on. So sounds like, I don't know, finals, he might be out. He might be out. Man. He might be out.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Does that worry you about next season? Does that worry you?
What you mean in terms of him staying and going? Nah, it doesn't. I don't think so. I don't think so. This is just me just guessing here, but I don't think so. I think if he's set to leave, then he's gonna leave regardless.
Oh. What about I'm talking about injury wise? He was like we end up signing.
Oh well, no. I think I would go for him regardless. regardless if he's gonna miss extended time or anything. I would still go for it. He's that good, and I think he's worth it. I would definitely make that move, man. So that's that on that note. Shout out everybody in the chat once again. We got over 600 people watching us, man. If you're a diehard Knicks fan or you're an NBA fan and you like the show, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Hit that like for us.
Subscribe too, yo. Subscribe, everybody over here. Haven't seen subscribe to both channels first.
Both channels, man. Knicks Fan TV, Nick of Time Show. This is what we do in the off season. This is our weekly recap of Knicks news, giving you our reaction, getting your reaction. Gonna go back to the phones in a little bit. During the season, we're on after every game, man. Summer League, preseason, season, postseason. Hopefully, JL's. Yeah. And this is what we do, man. We cover every game, we break down the game, give you our thoughts, get your thoughts, and this is what the community is all about. So definitely hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you guys don't miss the next one.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. All right, so let's go to the phone, JLs. We have some people waiting. Let's go to Will from LI. He wants to talk about the AD trade, and he's against the AD trade. Will, how you feeling, bro?
How y'all doing, first off, y'all?
Good, man.
My bad, I wasn't able to get in the last time. Congratulations, CP, 1,000.
Appreciate it, man.
Jay Ellis, 1.3. Y'all both out here making moves out here.
We out here, man. We out here. Will's been here from the beginning, man. Appreciate it, Will.
Getting 100 subscribers this month, so I'm on my way. You're on my way.
Absolutely. All right, Will, go ahead, man.
Absolutely. So I want to hit a few points, but for the AD trade, man, I was so happy the last live you guys did because I wasn't able to get through, but I was listening in, and it seemed like the consensus was that nobody wanted to do the AD trade. You had a few couple. I know CP, you're really thinking about it because you have the whole idea that this is the time they're on the other side of 30. You know, we got to make moves, and I'm just saying this, like I don't know if you guys saw the projected scenario that would have to happen. We have to trade RJ Barrett. Frank, okay, I don't really care. DSJ, we have to trade him. Dotson, Knox, as well as give in those 2 Maverick picks.
Yeah.
That's a mellow trade, man. That's a mellow trade. That's gutting the team for AD. And it's just like, and you know, we've been Knicks fans, you know, you guys longer than me just because of age and whatever, but we've been garbage for the last 20 years. And if the dream scenario goes, knock on wood, and we get KD and Kyrie, I think it's such an entitled, like, type of thing to, like, well, we got to go for the home run now. Like, yeah, we got these 2. Mm-hmm. We're not going to be happy with these 2. Let's go for the home run and get a third guy. And it's just like, why? Like, I think looking at Philly should even explain, like, you can get all-star great players and put them on the same team, and it might just not work out. Like, who's to say that the addition by subtraction wouldn't work with just Kyrie, KD, and just a bunch of great role players? You know, that's all I'm saying. All right. I just don't see the need to just get the team.
Appreciate it, Will. Appreciate it, Will. And we're gonna move to the next one in a second. But JL, just give me your takes on what Will just said.
I get both sides, though.
Me too.
Like I don't blame people for having the PTSD for wanting not wanting to do the trade, because you know you get attached to these players, you don't really know what they're going to be, and it's all like a gamble. Like who knows what will Mitchell be? But at the same time, it's like, you know, AD is a top 5 player in the NBA. I do feel like the whole playoff thing is a little overblown, and even his injury thing to me is a little overblown too. So like I really do get both sides. Now for the 76ers point, like to me, those guys would work if my same shooter argument that I'm doing for RJ, and that if Ben Simmons can shoot, that team would work.
Yeah.
So like I don't think it has anything to do with them bringing those guys in. Those guys helped, but their point guard can't shoot, and in the league you need guards who can shoot.
Well, I think the Philly thing, because I think I was a bit higher on them after that Tobias and Jimmy Butler trade.
I was too.
Then I thought they had, from a matchup standpoint, I thought they could have been one of the best matchups to take on Golden State head on. I think a lot of the Philly thing was inexperience.
That too. And you know what? The injury to Embiid.
Embiid, and also chemistry. You know, you can't always just throw these guys together in 1 year and expect everything. JJ Redick also took a couple steps back after that Tobias trade. I think he was battling injuries as well. I thought on paper, though, they could have given Golden State the best run for their money if they could just get that chemistry together. Even with Ben Simmons not really being a shooter.
Because everybody else around them was a shooter, so they still had a shot.
Exactly. That's what I thought, man. But it just didn't work out that way. On the AD trade, I'm conflicted. You know, because as I said in previous episodes, Jay Ellis, you know, the timelines just don't align in terms of bringing in two max players and our young players. You're asking a lot from our young players to hope that this team can really compete for something real.
Yeah, like you're really putting the stress on the vet minimums.
Yes,
somebody really good.
Right.
Like you really open like yo, Melo. Hey man.
Yeah.
Turn back the clock. Like you really betting the ball on Melo and where else we get on vet minimum.
Yeah, because you're gutting the whole team. You would have to replenish that team with 3-point shooters and defensive role players. You know, and a good amount.
Yeah, like I said, you're in a weird conundrum in both ways. Like you said, like we gut the team, then we're gonna have to get a bunch of vet minimum guys.
Yeah,
who might be in our last leg, and just get a bunch of shooters and hope for the best. And if one guy goes down, you're like, damn. Flip side, we still have our youth, but there'll be pressure for KD and Kyrie to win now, and we're not sure if the youth will be ready. So we still might end up kind of being like a Lakers situation.
Right. So, you know, I'm conflicted. I see the need for AD, but at the same time, I'm one of those people. I want to see our young guys cultivated and developed just to see, not to say that it's going to guarantee anything, but we just haven't been in this position, JLs, where we have players with promise, you know, young talent with promise. Even throwing DSJ in there. Yeah, he's inconsistent. Yeah, he has his headaches. You know, but a guy with potential like him.
Yeah, he's a jump shot away too.
You know what I'm saying? So I see it both sides, man. I see it both sides, but that's the reason we don't get paid to make that decision. It's all on Ninja P.
Yeah.
Bottom line. All right, let's go to, appreciate the call, Will. Let's move it along. Doc Ross from ATL. He was an OG fan too. Doc Ross wants to talk about RJ Barrett and keeping the pick. Doc, how you feeling, bro?
Yo, man, I'm feeling good. Shout out to you, CPJ Ellis.
Peace,
I've been
bro.
on the low, but I've been in here every week watching both of y'all shows.
Thanks, man.
Oh, that's what's up. Thanks, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I've been liking the comments, man. I actually want to touch on 3 things. First of all, don't want to move the RJ Barrett pick because any other year, like let's just say like Zion got hurt for the end of the year, he didn't come out. Everybody been clamoring for this guy. And, like, I've never been one, I'll go on record and say, I've never been one to trust Zion. I think he was more hype. Like you got to understand something. He wasn't even the best player on his team. Zion was. You know? I don't see how everybody going all in on it. I just don't got a good feeling about Zion. I say keep RJ, because if you think about it, think about RJ, Knox, Mitchell. Say it again. RJ, Knox, Mitchell. That's a good 3-man squad right there. And trading them for AD, it's like I think 2 callers ago, last caller said, I'm not gutting the whole team because I saw what that happened with Melo, what we did. You know, CP, you said that you like Gallinari. I like Gallinari when he was with the Knicks too, and we had to gut him for Melo. And look what happened with us right there. You know, so I don't even want AD because I think he's injury prone. Second of all, I do agree. I'd rather have Kawhi. If I can't get Kawhi, I'm with you, CP. Let's get Kemba. You know, I'd rather have Kemba. I actually rather have Kemba than Kyrie because Kyrie, his injury madness triggers me too.
It's a risk.
And remember what Kyrie said. He doesn't plan on playing past, 32 or 33 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that,
so,
man.
Yeah, you don't want to really, like, give Kyrie all that money. The next thing that I never told you guys, but you guys touched on the subject, said, why would, Scott Perry and them say all this stuff about Porzingis and everything. And I'm a university professor, and I talk about diversity.
Okay, which school, if you don't mind me asking?
Right now I teach at WGU, but I was teaching at University of London.
Okay.
And I was teaching at University of Copenhagen, Nottingham Trent University. So I've taught in 4 different countries.
Great, man.
So I'm down here in Atlanta now. Yeah. So there's a reason for Scott Perry and them saying stuff like that about Porzingis, or Steve Mills saying the stuff about Porzingis and stuff like that. And it has to do with the same thing that happened with Magic. You got to understand something. There's not a lot of black GMs and presidents in this league, even with NFL football coaches. And what happens is they try to show, whenever a black person is in power, they try to show how incompetent or something had to happen. Why they give him KP? And they're like, look, man, this is what happened. You know? You can't blame us for him coming in there saying like he ain't want to be with us. Because everybody's everybody's making it seem like the Knicks are dysfunctional. And CP, I agree with you. James Dolan hasn't been in the picture. You know, he actually said it a long time ago. I don't know a lot about basketball. I hire people that know about it. You know, he might have hired the wrong people to run it sometimes, but like he's not behind the scenes. So everybody talking about we're a dysfunctional organization. Yeah. That's not true. But you know, there has to be onuses on it. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, so every time, like, you know, Magic come out, what was the knock on Magic when he came out the other week on First Take? What they say? Oh, he wasn't never around the office. He wasn't never that. You never hear that kind of stuff being put to these white GMs, presidents, and stuff like that. But they said it to Magic. And just like, you know, Steve Mills and them, they go in and say, like, well, so it had to happen. Why did KP want to leave? And he's like, look,
they said it about Phil Jackson.
Yeah. They did, and appreciate the call, Doc. I just gotta because we got mad people on the line, and we want to wrap up fairly shortly. So, JLs, go ahead. You said they did say that about Phil, right?
Yeah, they said that about Phil Jackson. Like he wasn't around and he was sleeping in meetings. And
the thing is, I don't necessarily see the race thing in it. In this particular situation, I think it deserves to be questioned when every single top player, whether it's a star or a budding star, they leave here in disgrace. Whether it's Melo, whether it's Steph, whether it's Patrick Ewing, you know, whether and now it's KP. I mean, we have to also look at ourselves in the mirror at what's happened in the past. So they still have an upwards hill to climb in terms of cleaning up their reputation for that dysfunction. We feel like it's getting better, J. Ellis, but it's not beyond the realm to question what happened here with KP and who's at fault.
No, it's not. It's not. And like I said, like they says, like it's human nature to want to cover your ass when somebody asks you a question. Like whether it was the best move or not, I don't know. Like it might have been better not to say anything, but it's human nature to be like, yo, listen, dude, we did everything we could.
Right.
And luckily, we did our due diligence beforehand. So when he did ask for the trade and he gave us this crazy ultimatum 7 days, he was actually able to do something and have him out in an hour.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right, let's keep it pushing, man. And callers, we want to get as much as we can in this time frame. Just get to your point as quickly as you can, and we'll try to respond. Let's go to Waldo from New Jersey. He thinks the Knicks should trade for AD. Waldo, how you feeling, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. What's your points on AD?
Yeah, so my thoughts have changed a little bit ever since the KD injury. Mm-hmm. I think that they're definitely keeping some things behind closed doors in terms of the severity of it.
Seems so.
And I think I'm more now in probably favor of trading for AD. Just looking at that Boston example, I remember when Kawhi was on the trading block and a lot of Boston fans were against trading Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum because of their potential upside. And then you see how it sort of all resulted in the playoffs. They just wasn't ready for the big times.
Yeah.
And, when you look at the playoffs, man, you pretty much, if you got a bank with talent, I think you just go with it. I think it's still different from the Melo situation because he was there by himself. You know, you're looking at...
Yeah, Mari was useless, let's be honest.
Potentially three...
Yeah.
Let's be honest. You know, Shumpert and JR, they were like big pieces. Now you're talking now potentially 3 top 10, top 15 players. And maybe you have to be a little more creative in how you get them. Maybe you bring in a third team, and you don't gut your team necessarily. But sometimes, gambling on young talent, when you're trying to win the playoffs, it just seems to be really clear that you need hot top-end talent to win. It's hard to win.
It's a star league.
And I don't think people have cared so much about the future of the team if a chip comes to New York City.
Absolutely.
So for all those reasons, I would say if you have an opportunity,
that's what I
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
If you have opportunity to get those 3 people, I would definitely pull the trigger, man.
Appreciate it.
It's hard to win a championship, and these young guys, sometimes they're just not ready for it yet.
That's fair. Fair points. Well said by Waldo, JLs. It's fair. You know, it's a star league.
Yeah.
Look at what the Golden State Warriors are bringing out there every night. You know, they developed their 3. They did develop their 3, who turned into all NBA players, but then they brought in a 4th in KD.
And the thing people got to realize, too, is 80 is 25.
Yeah.
It's not Melo. Like, that's the biggest thing that's different from Melo is 80 is 25. Like, he's gonna be around. All intents really should be around for a very long time. Like, and you would think he would sign if KD is here because he said he wants to win.
Right.
And that trade is only going to happen if KD is here in the first place, and KD says he wants him. So in that regard, you'd be like, all right, he will sign if KD signs. Like, that would be crazy.
Fair points. Fair points, man. I can't knock what Waldo said. It's a star league. It takes stars to win. And we got to go hard to go home. You know, people have said that in the past. All right, next up, Craig, you're up next. Craig says he wants to trade RJ Barrett for Rui.
Hey.
Zaga. Craig, how you feeling, bro?
No.
Right down.
That's not what I was saying.
Oh, that's what it said in the
That's
switchboard.
not what I was saying. I was saying keep RJ.
Oh, okay.
And then package Knox or Ntilikina to a team and pick up Rui. Rui outplayed both Barrett and Zion when Zag beat
Duke.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all guys watched that game.
I didn't catch that game,
but
I know,
he completely go back and watch that game, man. He definitely he locked Zion up a few times in that game, and he definitely beasted him going down into the hole.
Yeah, I didn't catch that game.
You got to watch that game. He's a complete sleeper that I think everybody's overlooking.
Yeah, I think, and appreciate the call, Craig. I think Rui's a competitor, man. He's a tough player, JLs. He's definitely a tough player. Started the game a little bit late, but he's certainly a tough player. The only problem I see is that you're not going to be able to get back into the lottery with just Kevin Knox and Frank.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
You're going to have to put in another pick or some other incentive to try to get back in there.
Exactly. It's not going to be that long. You're definitely going to have to put a pick in. That's why people like to trade down sometimes because people would like to trade down sometimes if they feel like they can get equal value for that pick lower and gain another pick. That's the whole point of trading down.
Exactly. Mars Jetson in the chat says he thinks Minnesota promised Rui, and that's why he didn't compete at the draft combine. So okay.
Yeah, my guard Garland too. He didn't compete too. I was really looking forward to him.
Yeah, Garland didn't compete either.
I was looking forward to him busting people's ass, and because I'm like, yo, people are really sleeping on him, but I think he got a handshake deal too.
Absolutely. All right, we're gonna take a couple more. Let's go to our guy Omar. Omar's in the building. He wants to talk about draft and free agency. Omar, how you feeling, bro?
Good. How are you guys? It's been a minute.
Yeah, man. Been a minute. How you been, bro?
I'm good. Just been busy for the last couple months.
Okay.
But still up on the Knicks and finished out everything. JL, it's really quick. Actually, Anthony Davis is the same exact age that when we traded for Melo. Anthony Davis 26. When we got Melo, he was still 26.
Yeah.
Really? So just keep that in mind with that. Yeah, they actually are. Davis is going to be turning 27, I think, next March. So in the middle of his first hypothetical season with the Knicks. But with that being said, I'm not against, now that I think about really trading for Davis and putting him together with two other stars, because one thing I think we guys have to realize is that I think we're part of why we're scared of it is that where's our future? What's it going to look like after 5-6 years?
Right.
But hopefully the perception of the team will change, that other stars will begin to come and we'll be seen as a destination. So things should look different 5 years from now if we put together this big, great team. So that's why it's also a fruitless debate when it all starts with the draft. We're picking RJ Barrett. Without a doubt, we're gonna pick him for that very reason, with the whole Anthony Davis trade hovering over it. But I want to know your guys' thoughts really quick. What do you actually think of that hypothetical big three of KD, AD, and Kyrie because someone's going to have to take a back seat.
Yeah,
and it feels like AD is going to have to go into that Bosch role where defensively he'll be great, but you have a shoot first point guard in Kyrie.
Yeah.
And you have KD, who's arguably, one of the 2-3 greatest scorers we've ever seen. And AD is going to be wanting to get his numbers. He wants to be recognized as an all-time great also. That's one of his goals.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know just how he's going to be getting his looks, especially more about Kyrie, because we already saw with KD, he fits with other stars.
Right.
But Kyrie with a shoot first point guard and another guy that's high usage in KD, I don't know if we're going to be able to get the most of our money paying AD max money as the third guy or second or third guy. That we would if we just go with 2 stars.
Yep, Ari did make that point. JLs, what's your take?
You know what it is too is like, I guess it's all hope because you can also say Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love, right? Those are like kind of similar, but this is a better version with the AD. So you would think it'd be something like that team, but with shooters, and then you would think, oh, that's a champ, that's a chip. Right?
But I also think in LeBron, with LeBron and Kyrie, you had 2 point guards in that lineup. You know what I'm saying? Where LeBron was really like the real point guard.
That's true. That's true. But
look how Kevin Love had to really sacrifice his game coming over.
Yeah.
With LeBron and Kyrie.
And the thing is, you know what it is too?
And KD's even more shoot first than LeBron.
Right. That's right.
That's true. Maybe Kemba
and Kyrie
would be, I don't know.
Shots on the Cavs, not LeBron.
You know what it is too? It's funny because I feel like Kyrie has a chance to be a better facilitator if he wants to be, but I also feel like Kemba would be more willing to sacrifice if he was here instead of Kyrie. So that would be an interesting thing. But coincidentally, because of all those 3 skill sets in your mind, if they're willing, it should work. I don't really, like you said, there's no doubt that KD. I think KD would fit. I feel like AD is ready for a change anyway. He already was sharing the court with DeMarcus Cousins, and that guy's a big personality, and he had no problem with that. So I imagine that those 2 guys would be fine. It's all about Kyrie at that point. And I also would say, in the event that somebody goes down with injury at some point, AD would then elevate his game and take over, much like Chris Bosh did when James was injured for a spell, or the way he was injured for a spell, or even when those 2 guys were on the bench.
Yeah,
they would run the offense through Chris Bosh, and I don't feel like that's what AD's new role would be.
Sure, there are creative ways to kind of handle that, like you said, JL, from a rotation standpoint. But for no doubt about it, they're gonna have to. There would certainly be growing pains there, and they would definitely have to figure. That's what happened with the Heat. There was growing pains in that first year, even though the talent took them to the finals. It wasn't until the second year when even D Wade kind of took a back seat to LeBron, and Chris Bosh kind of took that backseat as well, where they really centered it around LeBron, and that's how they were able to really dominate in year 2 and 3.
Now, for real, I just feel like I do understand the personality of Kyrie is the biggest concern to me, but I feel like the skill sets would fit well with each other, man. I feel like it actually pretty damn well, especially with AD being a shooter.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. And on the Kemba thing, I know guys have already touched on it.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan, the cheapest guy on the face of the earth, is going to be paying Kemba Supermax for a 35-win team?
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know what MJ's thinking.
And I think you guys are right. Kemba would sacrifice because, let's be real, this guy's been underpaid for years now, making $11-12 million a year out in Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
And they still suck. They somehow are still in financial trouble. And while they have a guy who's at 50% market value, even lower than 50%, and they're somehow still in cap hell because they overpaid for other guys. So I think Kemba is as long as I get paid, I'm willing to accept the role for a winning situation. Where you take care of me, I'll take care of this basketball situation.
Yeah.
And, I just think that we got to keep in mind the basketball fit of it all. We're stars for stars, I get it, but we could be smart about this. And we got to evaluate everything as a complete sum rather than just say, oh, we do this, we do that, we put these stars together. No, because it could create a lot of trouble. And we end up not getting the result we want, which is a championship.
Got to be careful what you wish for, man. Appreciate the call, Omar. Good call as usual, Jay Ellis, man.
Yeah.
Good points by Omar, man. All right, we're gonna go 2 more calls and then we're gonna jet and take care of this weekend. Everybody hit that thumbs up if you're enjoying the show. You're a diehard Knicks fan, NBA fan. Hit that subscribe button. Knick of Time Show, Knicks Fan TV. This is what we do, man. We talk orange and blue after every major event, after every game. Go ahead, JLs.
Yeah, definitely subscribe too, because just dropped a new podcast on. I try to get it on Thursday, but technical difficulties is what always on Wednesday. It's on Thursday, but check out the new show. See me get double teamed by my fellow podcast mates.
Pause.
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 One is a girl, all right?
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
The bait. Double team.
Right.
That could be a basketball reference. You went there, then you went there.
Sorry,
went
man.
there,
Sorry, man.
I didn't even think that was. And we say pause all the time on our show.
Oh my god,
I didn't even think that was a pause comment.
Let's go to Ken. Ken from the Bronx. Save us, man. Ken says he's for the AD trade. Ken, what's going on, bro?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Good. How you feeling, bro?
I'm good. Yo, I want to get to the fact. All right, a few years ago, who was one of the highest paid players on the team? Was it not Andrea Bargnani?
Sadly,
fast forward to today, we really contemplating whether or not we want Anthony Davis on the squad. Like, this is not the Melo trade all over again. First of all, if we make that trade, most likely we giving up Dallas picks, not our picks. So after when this 4 or 5 years is up, we still good to rebuild after that.
You still right. What Ken is saying, and what somebody had said last week, you're still gonna have your own picks, Jay Ellis. You're still gonna have your own picks.
Yeah, because we have the Dallas picks, it'll help fill the grunt of the blow.
Yeah.
Right.
Ain't no one else.
I'm all about Devon Thomas, though.
You know what else I'll say that no one's really saying. AD for all intents and purposes is considered better than Melo at that time. I would think. Am I wrong in thinking that?
In his prime right now, yeah, he's a more complete player for sure.
Yeah.
He's a more complete player.
Right, I'm no.
But I mean,
great, but
yeah.
And it's like I feel like everything just fell into our lap this season. With KP wanting out, getting Courtney and Tim Hardaway off the books. It's like everything really fell into our lap this season. All the free agents coming out. We got Anthony Davis wanting out. It's like, if you put it in front of us, like, how can you turn down Anthony Davis? I love the young guys just as much as anybody else, but let's be real. We're at Madison Square Garden. The chance to have KD, Kyrie, and AD, like, how can you turn that down? And Kyrie didn't get a fair shake in Boston. He led that team to the second round. They didn't say anything about Gordon Hayward, the season he had, injury or not.
Terrible.
He still underperformed. But when you got all 3 guys on the team, I think the injuries would even go down because night to night, you taking pressure off 2 other guys, 2 other stars on the team. They not carrying the whole team on their back. You got 2 other guys to go to if you're not feeling it that night. The veterans around you. So I think we got to pull that trigger. I love the young guys, but it's just you can't turn that down. AD, Kyrie and KD and Madison Square Garden, like that's, and we still have our assets.
Yeah.
For when this, reign is over.
I'm not mad at that, man. I'm not mad at that. Yo, this is Ken from the chat. You were typing in the chat?
Yeah, Kenneth Lane 90, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Appreciate it, man. How you feeling, man? Appreciate the call, bro.
I'm good, I'm good, man. But I appreciate y'all, man. I'm still following every show. Y'all doing y'all thing, man.
Thanks a lot, man. Enjoy the weekend, bro.
All right, y'all too.
Go ahead, JS.
Yeah, I feel like, fans would be very upset for like a week until the first week they play together.
Yeah, facts. Until that open practice when we doing a play-by-play.
Exactly.
There was just interested, man. They interested, man.
I feel like there'll be a mutiny on Knicks Twitter and Instagram for like a week and a half. Yeah. And that first game that they play together,
it's over.
And it's KD, Kyrie, and AD dunking on people's face, blowing out teams by 30. I think people will have very conflicting viewpoints at that point.
I think based on, like I said, you check the pulse of your social media pages. I check the pulse of mine. I think for the most part, the fans are against it.
Yeah, it's like 90-10.
Yeah, I think it's 90-10 based on just a rough estimate. I think for the most part, the fans are against it, man. But not saying I'd be mad at it, but I'm scared. I'm scared,
I feel you.
bro. All right, last call of the day, and appreciate everybody for calling in and supporting. We gotta get the afternoon started. Mike from New York, you're the last caller, man. Make it good. He wants to talk about free agency and RJ Barrett. How you feeling, bro?
Oh, how you doing, family?
Good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. I was on the chat too. I'm Mike Powell. That's on the chat too.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wanted to talk about AD. This is a big opportunity for the Knicks to really, be able to get right back into championship contention. You got to go get AD, because if you don't get AD, then you're going to settle for the young ones, and you don't know what's going to happen. So you might as well go get an established player that plays both ends of the floor that can match up with other superstars like KD and Kyrie.
And the freak.
If we get Kyrie,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a matchup nightmare.
And then I'm hearing Kyrie might go to the Lakers, but that's a possibility because Kobe's in his ear, and that's somebody that's an idol to him. He look up to Kobe, so you never know what's going to go on with that situation.
Yeah,
you never know. You never know, man. LeBron is going to be recruiting them heavy. And because you never know, because they have a slot for one max, but then they can trade for AD. So you never know. You could have a LeBron, AD, Kyrie, three-headed monster out there in L.A. You never know.
That's a wrap.
You know what I mean?
But I don't think L.A. is going to trade. I don't think New Orleans will trade with the Lakers after the mess that happened during the season.
That's a possibility.
Well, I think at the end of the day, emotions are dictating that, but business is going to talk. And if the Lakers are going to be willing to give you everybody, and the Knicks aren't, they're going to make the move. They have to. They have to make the move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We'll see.
Right.
It's happened before.
Right.
Because you know what? There was a trade Moody had got here because the Knicks wanted Elfrid Payton at first.
Yes.
And Orlando was trying to get Frank Ntilikina 2 second-round picks for Elfrid Payton. Perry said no. Elfrid Payton ends up going to New Orleans for 1 second-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So Perry said no. In that case, let's hope with New Orleans.
Right. And appreciate that call, man. I got to let you go because of the feedback. Listen, man. I listen. Like I say, bottom line, I wouldn't be completely against it. I'm just leery of it, and I'm also optimistic about the youth movement. Also optimistic about the youth movement because it's not every situation where you build a big three through free agency primarily and it works out. Doesn't always work out.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It always comes back to the draft. Now, like you said, JLs, you're getting a guy like an AD who's in his prime, 25. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I still think the foundation has to come from the draft. I still think it comes from the draft. You look at all these teams. Look at Milwaukee right now. You know what I'm saying? You look at Golden State.
Yeah.
Look at Portland. The foundation comes from the draft. For the most part.
One guy. Can we have one guy stick around?
Right. Can we keep
Mitch?
Right.
Can we keep Mitch? Let me keep Mitch. And I know it's funny because it's Louisiana, and Mitch pretty much grew up there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's they're asking. And he's the best player on the team right now.
It's a conundrum, man. But this is why we here, Jay Ellis. This is why we here to talk Knicks in the offseason. This is a crucial offseason, man. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hit that thumbs up button for us. We want to set the record. Hit that thumbs up button for us. Let's get to 200 likes before we get out of here. Make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell for sure.
Yes, please.
Jay Ellis, I'm going to throw it on to you. Go ahead and close out, man.
All right, man. So like I said before, man, if you need a reason to subscribe, I just don't do this post-game live. I also have my own show that I help. Well, that's me and 3 other people, the Nick of Time show. Definitely check that out. We post every week. We actually on a summer schedule right now, so we'll be doing like every other week. But we'll be back to our regular schedule during the actual season. But definitely check that out. If you want to check it out on SoundCloud, it drops on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play on Tuesdays. The audio version on Tuesdays at like 3:15. And usually Wednesdays, if everything happens right with the video editing and stuff, it drops Wednesday morning. If not, I try to get it to Wednesday night, Thursday, the latest on YouTube. So definitely check that out. And also, I know if you want to write for Nick of Time show as well, we're definitely looking for writers. We're trying to expand that. Ryan G is a great talented writer, and I want to actually grow that part of our base out. And yeah, so that's all. Back to you, CP.
Appreciate it, JL, and great show as usual, my dude. Great job, man. And hey, thanks again for everybody for tuning in. Once again, happy Memorial Day. Salute to all the vets out there, man. We appreciate you guys. To everybody for tuning in, thanks again. Once again, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. We need your support. This is how we grow. This is how we get more callers, more people in the chat to make bigger debates, and it's a lot of fun, man. So definitely do that. Knicks Fan TV merch, hit the link in the video description. Get those Mitch Please t-shirts. They're flying off the shelves. The show is also available in audio format. Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher. Definitely, if audio is your best way, you can catch the show on the Knicks Fan TV on those platforms. Join the Twitter chat. Those of you who are in the Twitter chat, you know we basically extend the conversation. It's a great community. Join the Twitter chat by sharing this video on Twitter with the hashtag PostGameNYK. PostGameNYK. You see it right there. Share it on Twitter and we'll throw you into the Twitter chat. We also have a Discord group chat. Great chat. We got about 60 people in there right now. The link is in the video description. If you want to join the Discord group chat, go ahead and do so, man. And yeah, man, definitely great show as usual. Knicks Fan TV Dave, appreciate the help. Yao Song in here. I see you, Delano. I see you. I'm gonna I know some of you came in late. You know what I'll do? I'll run a replay of the show a couple times today. So if you guys see it's going live again today, this is a replay of the show. We just want to keep the chats going for those of you that want to continue the conversation. Dr. Carpy, appreciate it. John Talento, appreciate it. JL, so you got in your chat, you want to salute, man?
Yo, Enzo, man, shout out to you. Julian, shout out to you. Jet for life. Mo White. Craig, number one. I got your call in on the last show. Thanks for calling in, Craig. What else you got? Cody, man.
Cody's in here. We got to talk draft for Cody, man. I said we got to talk draft for Cody coming up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cody's on.
Yeah, Cody in there, insider. What's going on in Chicago, Cody? I know you got the Chicago, and the combine was in Chicago, so you might even know some more stuff.
Absolutely. Robert Herringhags, how often are we live? During the season, after every game, summer league, postseason, and season and playoffs. Off season, we're gonna do these once a week, and then once the off season officially starts, once the finals are over, we're going to go a bit more often with more special guests. We're going to do a draft show with Posting and Toasting. We have Moke Hamilton from The Athletic already confirmed. We got a couple more surprise guests on the way. So definitely hit the notification bell and you'll be notified whenever we go back live, man. Appreciate everybody for joining us. You guys, once again, have a great weekend. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. And we'll catch up with you guys next week, man. Peace.
Sure.